Balder.
I am so tired of you acting like you speak for the people of the state of Indiana or the city of Indianapolis. You do not speak for me or anyone I know. Now listen, you two jerks. Jerks on the right.
Hi, everybody. Oh, God. We are careening into Thanksgiving. Careening. Look, I got my nails done yesterday. They're blue.
Look at that.
You're supposed to go, ooh, so pretty, Daisy.
This is so pretty.
You guys, look at Chad's shirt. Look at his shirt.
Gobble, jingles. Hi, everybody. It's me, Gobble Jingles.
He's channeling Mock today because she would have worn some ridiculous Thanksgiving thing. He wears ridiculous Thanksgiving shirts, and I love it.
My wife told me,
it.
don't wear a pilgrim outfit and don't wear a Native American outfit because then you'll.
Is that you're not allowed to do that anymore? We're not allowed to do that.
I still do it. I don't give a rat's ass.
Is that like cultural appropriation or something like that? We're not supposed to do that.
It is. It is.
Oh,
unless you're in
guys.
the village people.
Unless what?
If you're in the village people, nobody cares.
You can do anything you want. We identify as the village people today, you guys.
We do.
All right, coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about Trump tariffs. DEI is out and MEI is in. We will tell you what that is. And Alec Baldwin thinks that you know nothing about the world. We're going to talk about that, all that, and so much more. Make sure that you have subscribed to this podcast. What are you doing with your life if you haven't done that already? And then check out all of our socials if you haven't done that. chicksontheright.com/links. First, I got to tell you about Screaming Goat. I have a Screaming Goat here somewhere. Hold on. I have a Screaming Goat. Hold on. You guys, if you've been here a hot minute, you know how much I love charcuterie. I am not a domestic goddess at all. I know that comes as a shock to you. I like to arrange food on boards and then pretend to be domestic. And that is as close to Martha Stewart as I get. And it's why I love Screaming Goat. They're one of our sponsors because they are everything cheese and apps and charcuterie. And I love their stuff. And I love the name of their company. They have a bunch of holiday offerings with their pre-made charcuterie trays with specialty cheeses, whether you're hosting 2 people or 50 people. They're veteran owned. They're based out of Atlanta. They have 25 years of specialty food expertise, and their gourmet cheese and gift baskets have the best artisan cheese from around the world. They're all about the cheese, you guys. So everything they send has you, they give you like tasting instructions and pairing suggestions for wine if you're into wine. Very fancy, you guys. Screaming Goat Company delivers gourmet awesomeness right to your door so you can look like a pro if you're not one like me. Also, they support Samaritan's Purse, and I love that. It's a wonderful charity. Enjoy gourmet cheeses while contributing to a meaningful cause. So visit the screaminggoatco.com. It's screaminggoatco.com. And you can use promo code CHICKS to get 15% off your order, okay? And free shipping. screaminggoatco.com, promo code CHICKS.
I would buy that just for the Screaming Goat.
I know. I love the name. It's a fantastic name for a company. Okay, some headlines. Let's get to some headlines. Here we go. Trump is going to slap a 25% tariff on all goods from Canada and Mexico, and a 10% tariff on China is only going to be lifted if they stop the importing of drugs and crime into the U.S. We have a tweet from Trump. I'll read that for you. Nope, I'll read that for you. Can we go back? I'll read that for you if you're just listening to us. I've had many talks with China about the massive amounts of drugs, in particular fentanyl, being sent into the United States, but to no avail. Representatives of China told me that they would institute their maximum penalty, that of death, for any drug dealers caught doing this. But unfortunately, they have never followed through, and drugs are pouring into our country, mostly through Mexico, at levels never seen before. Until such time as they stop, we will be charging China an additional 10% tariff above any additional tariffs on all their many products coming into the United States of America. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I love it when he does that at the end. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So, I mean, what do you think about tariffs, Chad? What do you think about this?
Yeah, here's the thing about tariffs. I am a huge hater of tariffs.
Really?
Yes, because tariffs. Well, first of all, let's tariffs are negotiation. But as far as if we produce something, there should be tariffs. So if we're producing something, we're trying to export it to other countries, I'm fine with tariffs. If we don't produce it, then no, I'm not a fan of tariffs. They're a great starting point in some way, and I understand why he does it with China. By the way, China is the perfect place to do tariffs, but people don't realize if you go back to World War II, we rebuilt Japan and Germany on tariffs. We told them, look, we're going to rebuild your country. You can tariff us 100%. So that means anything we give to you guys, you tariff us 100%. We'll help you pay for your country that way. Those tariffs in many cases are still on, and we can't sell into their country. So I understand why we use them. But for China, if we're not producing it, and we become a consumer nation, you know this, man. We
oh my God. Yeah.
All we want to do is stock them cheap and sell them deep,
Mm-hmm.
just as much as we can. So I'm not a huge fan of tariffs, but I understand why you're doing it. And if you can use them as a way to get people to do things, I think it's fantastic.
Leverage. Mm-hmm.
But if it comes back and bites the average person in the butt, I think that's not a huge thing. But we'll see, because everything with him, it's all negotiation.
Yeah.
So
and he feels like people, I say people, other countries have been taking advantage of us.
100%, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
100%. And I'm a big fan of that, but let's see what these things actually end up doing, because by the way, everybody forgets Biden did not get rid of Trump's tariffs on China. He didn't. People think he actually extended some of them. He didn't get rid of them. So I'm not bothered by China. We'll see what happens when it comes to Mexico and Canada. I think those are bigger issues.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah.
Because Mexico's our biggest trading partner.
Yeah. And we need to do something about them. We've got to figure
100%.
out a way to deal with Mexico for sure. Yeah. Okay. Another one. Caitlyn Jenner is rumored to be considering running for governor of California, you guys.
I'd vote for Bruce, but I don't know about this Caitlyn lady.
My kids are visiting from California. And last night I said to them, I told them about this, and I'm like, so how do you feel about Caitlyn Jenner being your governor? And our son was like, I mean, it makes sense that a guy with boobs that's conservative would be running California. That just makes total sense for California, doesn't it?
You could find nothing more Californian than Christian Bale, who is currently running the state. Gavin Newsom,
right?
Is leaving, and in comes Caitlyn Jenner. So let's just go over the last few. You had Gray Davis, who they got rid of because they recalled him, and then they replaced him with Arnold. He came in there and he's like, I'm going to be great. And then they were like, no, you're not going to be great.
He's not. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you get the beautiful one after what's his name was there for his 50th time as governor, and then you're going to get Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah. Caitlyn Jenner. I mean, Caitlyn his quote was, if I ran, this is on Twitter yesterday on X. If I ran and it was ultimately against Harris, I would destroy her. And I don't disagree. I think he could win. I'm sorry. I think Caitlyn could win. She could win.
Because full Monty, right, on this one?
Mm-hmm. I don't. He's not lopped. Are you asking whether or not he's lopped his doodads off? I don't think he's done that. Has he done that, you guys? I don't think he's done that.
Yeah. I mean, he shaved the Adam's apple, so
I don't think he's gone full Monty.
Yeah. Because if you go full Monty, then I'm going to give you your due.
Yeah, I don't think he's done that. I don't know. I haven't. Maybe we should get him on the show and I can ask him. I can ask Caitlyn.
Shim.
I can ask Shim. All right. The Menendez brothers have to wait 2 more months to figure out whether or not they're getting out of jail. I think that they have served their time.
Oh, I do too.
And they need to get out of jail. And people I know here disagree with me on that. But I got to tell you, if this were 2 women that had been just completely just sexually abused by their father for years, and I know that
beaten.
What now? I'm sorry.
And physically beaten too, man.
Both physically and sexually abused at the hands of their father for just decades. I mean, because it was almost 2 decades that happened to them. If there were females, I think that people would probably feel differently about these guys. And at least the people that are saying, don't let them out. I think that they've served their time.
Yeah, I think they've served. I don't think they're a danger to the community anymore.
No, I don't think that they are.
It's time for them. You know what I've often wondered? What happened to all the money?
Oh, because they were due, like they would have gotten 14 million. And that's the thing. That was one of the things that they said in the first trial, which was a hung jury.
Yeah.
The second trial, they weren't allowed to admit any of the evidence that the father sexually and physically abused them. The mother too. The mother knew it was happening and didn't say anything.
The other thing. Mom basically ran interference.
Yeah, she was a piece of crap too. So, but yeah, I don't know what happened to them. They said that they killed the parents for the money. They would have inherited the money anyway.
Yeah.
That's what's so absurd about all of this. I don't know what happened to the money. I have no idea.
Wondered, like, did their uncle get the money and he just whatever happened to it? Are they still entitled to it?
No idea.
I mean, it's so I think it's time for them to get out. I don't think they are a danger to anybody. I think, like you said, if it was women, we'd have a totally different outlook on this.
I agree.
But because it was these guys and they were the epitome of white privilege. Let's be real, right?
Totally.
Like they were freaking their BMW driving back in the day. Yeah, they got Rolexes. They looked the part, but it's time to move on.
Yeah, and it was 1989.
Yeah,
I mean it was August of 1989.
Everybody was killing people in '89. Let's just get over it.
It was just like, and in 1989, no one talked about this stuff. No one talked about sexual abuse. No one talked about any of this stuff, especially when it happened to men. When it happened to,
and they were older too. It wasn't like that. They were like kids at this point. They were still getting abused when they were 16 and 17.
Yeah, at that point, one of them was in college, and the other was, I think, like 21 years old or something. So it was
home for Thanksgiving and abuse.
Right. This is the thing. So it was just a really taboo thing. They need to let these guys go. All right. Bye-bye, Jack Smith. He's gone. So we have a clip we can show you.
Filing, and it's important that the prohibition, of course, being that you don't charge a president-elect or a sitting president, that prohibition is categorical and does not turn on the gravity of the crimes charged, the strength of the government's proof, or the merits of the prosecution, which the government stands fully behind. So while the Trump team will attempt to spin this in this statement and in any future statements that they make as a victory for the rule of law and a victory for them, we should obviously remind our viewers that this isn't the government saying they don't stand by their case. They're saying they fully stand behind the evidence that they have. They fully stand behind the case. But because Trump won the election, this can't move forward.
Oh, my God. ABC can suck it. So I love how they're like, the Trump team will attempt to spin this. It's a victory. They're spinning it to a victory because it is a victory, lady. Yeah, exactly. But keep thinking you're journalist.
Like that if this was going forward, it was 100% a slam dunk that Trump was going to be convicted of something.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said Trump's biggest issue out of all of these things was the Mar-a-Lago thing. That was the hiding of the evidence more than anything else. Or
you're saying you're talking. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Not and it's now the January 6th case too. That's the other thing. They make it seem like this was the January 6th case. It wasn't. Mm-hmm. That's what they just equated it to.
Right.
But Trump. I don't think Trump would have been convicted in some of these. Mm-hmm. I don't. I think that. And then what? Right? Like then it's like, oh my God. My biggest fear for this last election was Trump loses by a little bit. And people say, well, it's all these cases. And then all of these cases end up being thrown out and or he wins in court. And you just look and go, you guys influenced an election by using the courts even more than people realized. And then hell would have really broke loose.
Yeah. Because if he would have lost by that much. Yeah. Or they would have used their win as even more momentum to put him in jail. Yeah,
they were never going to put him in jail. The Secret Service already said, you guys know this is never happening. First of all, it's never happening because we can't defend him in jail.
Yeah, but it's because it's absolute lawfare is what it is.
Yes, lawfare.
It's just bogus. All of it is bogus and everybody knows it. And it needs to be done already. All of it. It's just, we need to put it all behind us. And then, they always talk about joy and, this would be great if we could put it all behind us and maybe then we could unify. I don't know. Is that even possible? It would be great if we could do that. I'm just so sick of seeing this stuff. I'm sick of seeing that guy's face. I'm sick of seeing all those.
How do you think he feels about his face, huh?
Yeah. I'm over these people trying to destroy him. It's just enough is enough, Here's another thing that's enough is a 2-year-old at the border. I don't know if you guys saw this.
Migrant children have entered the U.S. under the Biden administration, and brand new footage shows brand new heartbreaking footage, rather, shows one of them, a 2-year-old arriving here alone with nothing but a slip of paper with 2 names on it. Listen to this.
Venezuela, mamá. Venezuela. ¿Sí? ¿Qué tantos años tienes? ¿2 años? ¿No vienes con tu mamá y tu papá? ¿No? ¿Venezuela? ¿Para dónde vas, mamá? ¿Dónde están? Estados Unidos?
What the hell?
Brandon Judd is the former National Border Patrol Council president, and he joins me now. Brandon, good morning to you. So this is heartbreaking on so many levels. And it's also something that Border Patrol runs into every single day. This particular little girl, she's holding a slip of paper with 2 names on it who she says are her parents. So
oh my God.
What do you think happens to her next?
Yeah, it really makes every single Border Patrol agent very upset. Every single time we see this, we have to process these individuals. We recognize and understand that the vast majority of them are abused on their way up here. And then on top of it, when we process them and release them, we don't even know that we're sending them to the right place. We don't know that HHS is going to do the right thing by these individuals and make sure that they get to where they're supposed to be going. So,
I have a 1.5-year-old grandson. I cannot imagine in 6 months just being like, okay, here you go into another country. Like, who does that to their, who does it to their kid?
Well, I mean, think about this. They just arrested a woman in Georgia because her 13-year-old or 10-year-old kid walked a mile. These people walk through here. My rule is this. You send your minor here unaccompanied. The minute they get here, they go straight up for adoption.
This is outrageous.
There you go.
It's outrageous, you guys. And where's AOC? Where's she? Remember?
She's on
in
Instagram.
Her white suit.
She's busy.
Right. Where is she in her white suit crying about these poor children? Because I feel like
only if Trump rips them out of their arms and the wombs of their mother will she get upset.
Completely outrageous. So she's just a precious little girl from El. This is happening all the time. And this is stuff that drives me crazy. Yeah, absolutely insane. Just wanted to remind you guys that Joe Biden is still president. I don't know if you remember that.
Joe Biden's husband.
He knows that.
That's the title I'm most proud of.
People think that he said that I'm Joe Biden's husband is what they think he said there. I'm pretty sure he said Jill Biden's husband, but people are saying on X that he said Joe Biden's husband. It wouldn't surprise me if he said
Dr. Biden, so nobody knew.
Right. It was at a White House farewell dinner. This was last Friday. His legacy is really bad. It's like it's worse than Jimmy Carter's. They discarded him like an elderly dog that they took to the pound, and I don't want to feel sorry for him because I don't like him, but I have moments where I'm like, God, you are just pathetic. And I do have empathy for people. And I feel sorry for the guy sometimes. I do.
I look and I think I feel sorry because here's a guy who I don't think is a bad guy. I think he got caught up like everything else. He became part of the establishment.
Yep.
And then along the way, he got discarded and their big switch didn't work. But at the end of the day, he got stabbed in the back.
Mm-hmm.
He got absolutely throttled, and then he worked against them too. That was the hilarious thing afterwards.
Yeah, he did. And Jill at that dinner last week was like, "You're my hero." You know, you're basically trying to make him something that he's just simply not.
Yeah.
And I
can't wait to read the real books that come out about how bad it was there, how bad he was, the infighting, the stuff that's real that's going to come out
totally
after all of this is said and done.
Yeah, when the dust settles, like give it like 3 or 4 years, and we'll start hearing the real shit is what's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to be great. All right, we're going to get into some more stuff, but first I need to remind you guys about steak. We're going to talk about Omaha steaks for a second. I make myself a filet in the air fryer like 3 times a week because they have the best fillets ever and the best steak fries, and we love sending Omaha steaks to our moms as a Christmas gift every year. Sorry, Mom, you're already going to know what you're going to get for Christmas, but she knows because I do this every single year. My mother-in-law loves their pork chops. If you're looking for a gift for a hard-to-buy person, Omaha Steaks is a slam dunk. Or if you're entertaining this holiday season, Omaha makes it so easy. We try to always keep it in our freezer, so we just pull stuff out. Like we have people here right now. We've had people for 4 days in the house, and we'll just pull stuff out of the freezer, and it makes it so easy to put stuff on the grill. Every piece of meat is flash frozen, vacuum sealed, ready to go when you are. It's 100% money back guaranteed because everything is so delicious and awesome. They have everything. They have seafood, they have wine, they have desserts. 'Tis the season for Black Friday. I cannot believe that is this week. It has snuck up on us, you guys. Go to omahasteaks.com, save 50% off site-wide. Plus, you're going to get $30 off with promo code CHICKS, and you get a $30 gift card when you shop early. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com. Get that $30 off with the promo code CHICKS.
Chicks.
You sent this to me yesterday, and I had seen this university in Austin, which is an hour down the road from me. It's a new Texas college, and it's called the University of Austin, UATX, and it's swapping out DEI for MEI, Merit, Excellence, and Intelligence. What a concept!
That is horrible.
Yeah. I mean, what a concept, right?
Wow, that seems like normal people having an argument,
right,
but not really having a discussion over stuff that they disagree with, but yet at the same time, they're still friends and they learn from each other. Duh.
It's, you know what it's like? It's like college in the 90s, college in the 80s. That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
That's honestly, that's what we used to do when we were in college. And then now we're going back to that, which is great. I wish more people would do it. I mean, this college was co-founded by Niall Ferguson, Barry Weiss. You guys have heard of Barry Weiss, and then a couple other people. And then there's I guess some of the high profile donors like include Bill Ackman. So I wish that more of these would pop up to compete with other universities, like some of the Ivies and things like that. It's great. The premise is awesome. I love it. I wish they had sports.
That'll come.
I know. I wish that would be great. And I want more of these to happen because, you know, I want some of these other universities to be put on their heels, you know, so they see.
When you went to college, we go back to college in my day, it used to be this, you went there, all right, it's your first time out in the real world, if you will. You're out there, but you're going and you're learning things from your ideas from all over the places, what other parents believe, and they taught their kids, and and everybody's bringing it in, and we're all having discussions, and it's supposed to be this open-mindedness. And now it's like, sweet mother of God, if you have one thought that leans to the right, you may be out of that school fast.
Yep. That's it. That's how it used to be. So hopefully we'll return to that. Maybe this is a trend, you guys. That's what I'm hoping. We'll see. This is something that I learned yesterday. I didn't know this was a thing. There were a couple clips that I saw floating around on X. Did you know that short hair on chicks equals liberalism? I didn't know that.
I know.
Supporting misogynist men. Ever talk to you again? I have the perfect solution for you. I'm going to whisper this so that they don't find out, but you're going to cut your hair short. They hate it. Hate it. I had long hair all my life. It's been very interesting to see how much less I've been harassed and sexualized since cutting my hair short. It definitely weeds out a certain type of man, and I'm sure that many of you don't want to be associated with anyways. It's only those that have a lot of internalized misogyny want you to keep your hair long. Someone who truly loves you will not care the length of your hair. Sure, they might have a preference. That's always what the men come into my comments saying.
And I prefer long hair. It's my preference. BBBBB. Don't you want your partner to find you attractive?
Don't you want your partner to be happy, fulfilled, feel like themselves? Is that less important than your attraction? Interesting. And for all those who will come into my comments, because you always do on posts like these, yes, I have a partner, he loves me, and yes, I am still marriage material even though I have short hair.
But you're not going to get married unless it's a cat.
Okay, so I mean, like the short hair thing, though, I thought that was interesting. I hesitated to even bring this up today, but I'm sure that there are a lot of conservative women here that have short hair. I just thought it was very interesting. I was like, well, it's just weird. Then I saw this clip posted by Elijah Schaefer, who's and he was like, yeah, don't do this, women. You're ruining yourselves if you do this. It was a tweet. And he was like, your girlfriends are lying to you. If you do this, you guys couldn't see the actual caption, but the caption said, if you do this, your girlfriends are lying to you and they're making you look worse so they can look better. Don't do this, because conservative women don't do this. So
it's one of those things where it's like the chick that's the hottest. They're like, oh, we should get her to cut all her hair off.
Right. So I thought I need to ask some of my conservative women in here. If you have short hair, I mean, you can still be I have shorter hair. Some of us can't grow our hair long. I just thought that was really interesting.
There's a lot of women out there, by the way, who have short hair, and it doesn't. Well, your hair's short, so I don't find you attractive.
Or
if you had a flat top, that's how we can have a conversation.
Right. Or you're automatically perceived as liberal. And I'm like, this is a very interesting take. I just thought it was floating around on X yesterday. I just thought I'd put it out there. Thought it was an interesting discussion. Maybe if you shave
their head as a form of resistance.
Right. Well, yeah. Remember the chicks that did that for Charles Manson too? They all shaved their heads.
They did.
Yeah, to show solidarity. Didn't work out very well for them. No. Okay, you guys, the media is whining. Jim Vandehey, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Vandehey. I don't really care. He's one of the co-founders of Axios and Politico. He's so mad. He's so mad about people like us and about X, and just and this video is just one big heaping, steaming pile of smog.
Everything we do is under fire. Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day, or X today, saying we are the media. You are the media.
We are.
My message to Elon Musk is bullshit. You're not the media. You having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter. Any more than me looking at your head and seeing that you have a brain and telling you I have an awesome set of tools makes me a damn neurosurgeon, right? What we do, what journalists do, what you did in Mississippi, what Al Jazeera does in the Middle East. You don't proclaim yourself to be a reporter. That's nonsense. Being a reporter is hard, really hard. You have to care. You have to do the hard work. You have to get up every single day and say, I want to get to the closest approximation of the truth without any fear, without any favoritism. You don't do that by popping off on Twitter. You don't do that by having an opinion. You do it by doing the hard work.
And then after that, the people on Morning Joe, the harpy and her, and her sidekick, they went and they agreed with him. They were like, oh, this is just great. I'm so glad he's saying this stuff. They just fawned all over him and all the things that he was saying. And they're freaking out. These people are freaking out.
So clap, everybody.
First
of all, I gotta say, extraordinary content. It needed to be said.
Yeah.
It continues to need to be said. When all of the garbage is flying around on social media, lying about reporters, lying about the hard work they do, lying about the hard work editors do, lying about everything up and down about not only their alternative set of facts, but alternative set of facts about what people like you do.
Also,
they're freaking out.
Those are 4 people at the top that are going, you know what? You shouldn't buy this silly thing over here when I've got a horse and buggy. The horse and buggy, it worked great. This combustible engine, it's a fad.
Right. Yeah. They don't like progress because they're not part of the progress. They don't like
and
it.
The alternative facts thing is, no, it's not the alternative facts. It's actually all the facts that you leave out. So alternative to you, but reality to the rest of the world.
Yeah, because they're part of the propaganda machine, and people are onto them, and they're starting. There was a crack before. The crack is now wide open, and we can see behind the curtain. And they are big mad. You guys, big mad. Scott Jennings on CNN was talking a little bit about this with the
Lonely Scott. That's what I call him.
I know we love him here, and they were talking, basically, these are the First Amendment hating people talking to Scott.
I heard what you're saying about X. I saw a survey this week. It's now the most ideologically balanced user platform.
Scott,
of any platform.
stop. It's too early. I just sat down. I've only been here for 2 minutes. You cannot continue to say
the show, but
you
it's
cannot
true.
say that.
So,
That's not the case.
So
Who's the source of that?
What I find, we reported it on this network.
It's not accurate, and you know it.
Okay, I'll let you make your statement.
Scott, can I reframe it a different way? Because the site changed radically, right? So whether you think the voices it is somehow more balanced now, that's fine. But no doubt Musk's influence is profound, and that you open it up and now you're there with his opinion, and he is now part of this administration. So does anyone else think that there should be this greater concern about billionaires purchasing media companies?
Okay. Would you be worried if Bill Gates controlled MSNBC?
No, because he's sane.
Because MS...
I think, well, can you even? No. I mean, if Bill Gates bought it, it'd be fine, you guys. Totally fine.
Well, I agree with everything Bill says, so why wouldn't I care?
Just can they not hear themselves? It's unreal.
It is so funny. And how dare he have an opinion, right?
Yeah.
And these billionaires purchasing things. Okay, well, who else is going to do it, right? Because the poor people aren't buying stuff.
Listen, they just want you to believe and listen to this one track way of thinking. And if you deviate, then it's disinformation or misinformation. Bullshit. Yeah. It's like X is not just Elon's way of thinking. It's everybody's way of thinking. If you're on X for more than 2 minutes, you'll see all sorts of different lines and ways of thinking, because I see all sorts of stuff. I see all sorts of stuff I disagree with. And then I go, oh, I disagree with that. And then I move on, because I'm an adult and I can do that.
It's so frustrating, because for me, it's like I'm frustrated at a bunch of people going over to Blue Sky, because my thought is everybody's going back into their echo chamber. And you need, we were watching that thing with the MEI instead of DEI. You need to be pushed back, because there's things that you don't know. There's things you don't understand. And finding out what's going on, in another person's mind and why they think that way is a good thing. And you can't open up their mind and they can't open up yours if none of you talk.
I mean, we're on Blue Sky, but I'm just afraid if I go over there, it's just going to be a bunch of furries.
No, it is.
I don't want to hang out with the furries. I never do. So listen, and along this line, you've got people who are in the media who are, yes, they're pushing back against, people like us and alternative media and whatnot. But then you have the people who you can kind of see, like Joe and Mika, who last week when we talked about them going and kissing the ring of Trump, now you've got Whoopi. It's very interesting. Her demeanor is changing a little bit. Yesterday, she was pushing back on Ana Navarro, and it's bizarre, you guys. Check this clip out.
All saying is we're going to sit and watch. We're going to wait and see, because we can't do anything else except.
I'm not going to wait and see. I mean, this guy is told us he's a retribution.
What are you going to do?
Doing? Like,
there's nothing to be done until you know what you're fighting. It's pissing in the wind doesn't help. You just get a wet face.
But I mean, what I'm saying is I have no false expectations that at 78 he's going to all of a sudden turn into another human being. And I'm not going to spend. I spent weeks telling people that he was apocalyptic. I'm not going to change now because it's still the same man.
Not treating every single thing like
I think that's when we lose credibility.
Well, here's the thing: you lose credibility in many different ways. If you don't know what you're talking about and you accuse him of something, then they're going to blow it back. That's why I say we need to wait and see exactly what you're going to do.
Isn't it cute that she thought she actually had credibility to begin with?
I mean, it's like they've already got all of the things they hate him for, even though he's done nothing. And I always go back to this. He screamed, lock her up, and everybody else did with Hillary. He told everybody, we're not doing any of that. Right? It's part of the game. Do I think he's going to go after people? No, I don't. But do I think he's going to look and see if there were things that were done ridiculous inside of these agencies?
I
Absolutely.
Hope so. Yeah.
And I think the first thing he's going to do is he's going to pardon Hunter Biden. Because
do you really? Do you really think he's going to do that?
I've already talked to a couple of people inside. That was already
that will piss a lot of our people off. Just so you know, a lot of people here in the comments.
But the whole thing is, his thing is, they went after me because of who I was. They were going after him because of who he is, and we were part of that. This is not going to move us forward. Plus, he also knows if he pardons Hunter Biden, it pisses all the Democrats off.
Oh my God! Well, Trump is the better guy. He always has been the better guy. And he's not,
you know.
he's not vindictive, and he's not, he's not that guy that's just going to go after people just to go after people. He is so much better than all of these other people. And he's not going to waste 4 years just trying to get revenge. He's going to go and he's going to try to be successful, because that is his mandate. His mandate is to be successful. And he has said, my revenge is to be successful. That's what he's going to do. I truly believe that too.
And he knows he doesn't have 4 years. He's got a year and a half to make it happen. Otherwise, he's going to lose the Senate. He's going to lose the House. And then all of a sudden, you've got 2 years as a lame duck where they're coming after you again, over and over again. So he knows, if I don't get this thing rolling, they'll turn.
Yep. And he's got a ton to do. So he doesn't have time to go after all these people. That's what they spent the past 4 years doing. And what have they accomplished? They've literally put America in now we're a dumpster fire. So it doesn't get you anywhere. He knows that. A federal judge has ruled in the transgender sports case, with the Mountain West Conference. We've got with the volleyball player, that the dude that is pretending to be, the dude that is identifying as a chick. And it was the Biden appointed federal judge held a hearing for the volleyball players they were suing the Mountain West Conference, and he barred the female athletes from testifying. And yesterday he ruled in favor of the men, is what he did. The girls are going to appeal, thank God. And the volleyball players have sued the Mountain West Conference and San Jose State University for, quote, violating their Title IX and First Amendment rights over a man being allowed to compete in women's volleyball matches, as they should. So if you're a complete moron like the Biden appointed judge, I have a video that shows you the advantage that biological men have over women in sport like volleyball. And if you're listening, it was just that video just shows a lot of the physical advantages, the obvious biological and physical advantages that men have over women that the NCAA has recognized, but the
Olympics recognize.
Right. And just a lot of people they just continue to want to be self-blind to,
This is how I've decided to take this on. Either we just get rid of male and female sports, which will never happen, thank God. But that's or all right, you guys have a identify female but biological male. We went over and we talked to one of our male volleyball players, and we're going to allow him to play on our team when we play you. So therefore, it's an advantage to nobody now. Everybody has got their one male player.
Yeah.
How hilarious would that be?
It would be hilarious. Yeah, it would be. It would be. There has to be some sort of a resolution to this. And I hope that, I hope Trump will do something about it when he gets into office, because I feel like a lot of this is just common sense,
each organization is their own private organization, and they can do what they want. And we want that. We don't want, government coming down and forcing.
It's true, but it's also problematic, because this to me is just a very common sense situation where men have a biological
break something.
Right.
And allow it to go to hell to the point where nobody's going to play. And then all of a sudden somebody has to stand up and go, okay, this isn't going to happen. But it might have to get to that point.
Right. There are women getting hurt. There are women you're seeing men compete in like boxing matches and in tournaments where they're beating the crap out of women now. When did that become okay? It's just not okay. This is insanity. So somebody just needs
Chris Brown Olympics.
Like the Chris Brown. Yeah, it's like the OJ Olympics. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, but I think at this point, it's like, say, okay, fine. You know what? Steve over here, he's an All-American, but now Steve goes by Sarah. Sarah's on our team just for this game, though. Just trying out the woman thing to see how this goes.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Yeah, we'll
honestly
see.
do that. If I was a coach playing them, I'd say, you know what, guys? Let's go get a couple over there. Ask the guys. Tell them to identify. They switch over. They play a game so we can show how ridiculous this is.
It is ridiculous. Yeah. It just... Yeah, but this is the thing is like at this point in the world, in our country, people embrace the ridiculous when they shouldn't be, and it's like, can we just be normal, for crying out loud?
No, we can't.
Yeah, and Sarah McBride still wants your attention. She acts like she doesn't, but she says, I don't want to talk about being a trans person, and I don't want to base everything on. But she does. I say she.
All she does.
This dude that's identifying as a woman. This is all this individual talks about. Behold.
United that attempts to attack a vulnerable community are not only mean-spirited, but really an attempt to misdirect. Because every single time we hear the incoming administration or Republicans in Congress talk about any vulnerable group in this country, we have to be clear that it is an attempt to distract. It is an attempt to distract from what they are actually doing. Every single time we hear them say the word trans, look what they're doing with their right hand. Look at what they're doing to pick the pocket of American workers, to fleece seniors by privatizing Social Security and Medicare. Look what they're doing, undermining workers. And here's also what we have to be clear about, because I think the last week has been a prime example of this. Every bit of time and energy that is used to divert the attention of the federal government to go after trans people is time and energy that is not focused on addressing the cost of living for our constituents.
Okay, but by the way, I just want to remind everybody, Trump's not in charge yet. He's putting together his team. So the cost of living falls on the old guy who's still in there and the person you guys ran. That's an issue.
Amen. Yeah, amen to that. And yeah, exactly. And then we also have another clip from Nancy Mace talking to Rachel on Fox about this issue.
Millions of women are supporting me. That's why we're winning the message. And so many women now today feel more brave and have more courage because I've been speaking out. They feel like they are going to be supported now. We're going to see this all across the country, and we're hearing from folks all around the world, women from all sorts of countries now coming out and supporting us in our effort.
Yeah, for the record, that trans member of Congress has said that he will actually abide by the rules and not use the women's restroom in Congress. I think Marjorie Taylor Greene came out with an idea. She said, well, maybe we should just have a Democrat women's bathroom and a Republican women's bathroom.
That's a great idea.
The Democrats can just open the doors to the trans those. And also what AOC said about not being able to recognize. I mean, I've seen Rachel Levine. I know that's not a woman. So I don't understand this idea. But Nancy Mace has taken a lot of abuse for standing up for the rights of women, especially in their private spaces, and we appreciate it.
Interesting how Rachel she refers to him as a him. You notice that?
And oh, absolutely. And Rachel, also talking to Nancy wearing a medium in that one.
Yes, totally. Yeah, totally.
Anytime we show off the guns.
As a reminder. Hello. Yeah. Okay, I got to quickly talk about dogs. I got to talk about dogs for a second, you guys. We got to talk about dogs and this stuff right here. This stuff is bomb. We all use Coat Defense's product we use it for our 3 dogs. Miriam uses it for her 2 dogs. I use this preventative powder especially for our Pyrenees mix, Theo, and his ears. They get really funky. And we've never had to put him on a single drug. We've had him for almost a year now. His gotcha day is December 14th. So I sprinkle it in his ears and that itchy, yeasty grossness is gone. He's good to go. It's all natural. I'm not pumping him full of chemicals like steroids or antibiotics or antifungals. And our grand dog, Charlie, who is also here visiting, he had the worst issues. They had him on all sorts of drugs and everything. And they started using this stuff and it was like a miracle for him. So total godsend for him. Big time game changer. Try it with your dogs. You'll see right now you can save 15% at coatdefense.com and be sure to enter code CHICKS when you check out. Coatdefense.com, code CHICKS. Do it for your dogs. Do it. Coatdefense.com. Are you guys watching Landman?
I absolutely am obsessed with that show.
It's my new favorite show. Like I I was a Yellowstone girl. I've been a Yellowstone girl for years. Okay. And Yellowstone is ending, obviously. And is it Taylor Sheridan? Is it Tyler or Taylor?
Sheridan.
Taylor Sheridan. He's kind of a jerk. I'm not a fan of him, but he's a brilliant writer. Never finishes anything that he starts, which irritates the crap out of me.
We're going to get like 3.5 seasons before he moves on to something else.
Right. And so I just know, like, I don't want to get my hopes up so much about the show, but there's a show called Landman, which is because now that, Yellowstone, we've got 3 more episodes left of Yellowstone if you guys are Yellowstone people. But Landman I love it because it's obviously a Texas thing. And I live in Texas.
Billy Bob. Oh, Billy Bob is brilliant.
He's brilliant. He's so good. But clips like this make me love it even more. Y'all have to see this. Yeah,
He is going to win every Emmy.
He's so great. Everything about it. It's such a great show. I just love it. I can't stand that
got
character.
Me hooked on it?
What?
TikTok.
Oh my God, really?
Seeing like the clips, and I'm like, I got to watch this show.
And
then I went to it. And that's how my kids consume movies now.
They go to TikTok
out of order on TikTok. And I started watching just the clips of it. And then I'm like, I'm going to watch it. I watched the first 3 episodes back to back to back. My wife's like peeking out going, what the hell are you watching? I'm like, Billy Bob's on fire.
Well, it's so funny because my husband never watched Yellowstone with me. He just wasn't a big fan of Yellowstone. And so I'd watch it by myself. But the first, I think it was last week was the second week. The first week of Landman, he watched with me and he was like, yeah, I like this one.
Yeah.
And so he's watching Landman with me, but I don't do TikTok, but it's a good show. I think it's just because of the subject matter. I kind of dig the subject matter.
I think
of
that,
it.
for people, like I've never really watched Yellowstone because I'm not really a cattle guy, right?
It's more dramatic. That one's a little bit
dramatic. Well, this is real. Like when I was younger, I raised a ton of money for oil and gas companies and stuff. So I'm like, I get this.
Yeah. And Yellowstone's more like our generation's Dallas, That's what it is.
Billy Bob in this is just otherworldly.
Yeah, he's good. It's really good. Anyways, I love that clip. I needed to share with you guys. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that. Alec Baldwin says that Americans are uninformed and know little or nothing about the world. I just thought you guys would want to know that.
Good. Did he killed somebody, right?
His gun has killed more people. He's killed more people than most of the people that are in jail for the January 6th stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't
make that make sense. Yeah.
All joking aside, he did not wake up that day and go, I'm going to shoot somebody.
No, but I mean, let's get real. Neither did anybody that's in jail for January 6th.
That's true. It's true.
So make all that make sense to me. Yeah. He made a bunch of comments
what? You were joking about Martha Stewart. I was joking about this. Martha Stewart is a felon. Snoop Dogg is not her best friend. Let's just look that up for in the world of weird.
That is another really great documentary. If you guys get a chance to watch it, fantastic documentary about. I am a big fan. I never liked her until I watched that documentary because I am not domestic at all, but she's kind of a badass.
Yeah.
And if you and they made an example of her because she was like the country's first woman billionaire, and I think that James Comey didn't like that. James Comey is the one that put her away.
Yeah. Well, they like to make examples of people.
Yeah. I mean, listen, there may have been some insider trading. I get it. But there are a lot of people.
But the reality is, if it was anybody else who wasn't that famous, chances are you pay a fine, you pay the money back, and everybody goes home.
Well, there were a lot of other people that were involved in the insider trading, but they pegged it on her and they made her be the scapegoat and made her take the fall. And she lost like $1 billion. So that just made me really angry because I'm thinking, okay, she should pay for whatever crime that she committed, but what about everybody else? And they just pinned it all on her because she was like this golden girl, and it's just not okay. It's not. So anyways, Alec Baldwin is a schmuck. We need to talk about mistletoe. Apparently mistletoe is dying. People used to sell a ton of it around this time of year because people would have Christmas parties. I don't even think people have Christmas parties anymore. I don't know about you guys because we're heading into like the Christmas party season. Nobody goes into the office anymore. This is not even a thing. But the tradition of kissing under mistletoe took off in like the Victorian era. People bought it. People have been buying it for forever. And now it's just a thing of the past. Like people,
its real name, the rape plant.
Listen, in the 90s, it peaked. Think about that. Like I know a lot of you here were probably working in corporate America or wherever in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s. Okay. So that's when sales for mistletoe peaked. Think about that. And they would have it at corporate parties. They would have mistletoe up, and you saw it in movies and stuff like that, right? Mistletoe. Young people, they say young people aren't interested in kissing under the mistletoe anymore, even in like family settings. And the older generation who used to cut it down and bundle it up are dying off and not being replaced. Listen, my thing is I think that young people in general are they're a less intimate generation, period, overall. They don't want to kiss each other. They don't want to hug each other. They don't want to talk to each other face to face.
It's my 13-year-old is just, don't touch me. Don't get near me. Don't touch me. My 6-year-old is very cuddly. My son's actually pretty cuddly for the ginormousness that he is, but my 13-year-old, just I want nothing to do with you.
They're
like
just
at arm's length all the time.
They're very like, I'll text you.
Yeah.
You know, I'll snap you.
More connected than ever before, yet further apart than ever before.
Yeah, without question, Chad. And so I just feel like mistletoe is a microcosm for the way that this generation Z is now. They're just not as, I'm not saying that we need to have everybody making out all the time. That's not what I'm saying.
It used to be fun though, right? You go and you're like, all right, hey, the Christmas party's tomorrow. I'm probably going to get laid. So I don't know who it's going to be. One of you lucky ladies is going to get drunk and make a bad decision tonight. And by the way, a few of you are going to, Xerox your breast. So that's going to be a party.
People used to do that. I mean, people used to do that. Remember office parties? You guys remember? And you
know what else started to change that? When you'd have to spend 5 hours going through things you're not allowed to do at work, so you don't get sued. Lawyers are also a big part of that.
Oh my God, right? Now it's like, I know you have to go through all these classes and you can't say things, you can't do things. Everybody is like, I'm a robot at work. I mean, it's just, yeah. When I worked with Mock and I worked at the same company almost 20 years ago, almost. And it was fun. It was a small company and it was fun. And we do crazy stuff and people were inappropriate and like
fun of it.
Right. And that's when it was fun. And you liked going into the office. Nobody does that anymore. No, I never Xeroxed my boobs, but man, I mean, but Christmas parties were lit. They were so much fun. You can't do that stuff
somebody's
anymore.
Getting arrested tonight. Oh, well, when I worked at a financial firm, it was like, somebody's getting arrested tonight. There's going to be a shootout. This is going to be awesome. That girl down the halls. I mean, this is going to be crazy.
I know. And
now it's just
nobody.
Like the lawyer in the room with you guys going like
nobody
chaperone.
Does it. Everybody and now you have like an online Zoom call and it's like,
that's it. Happy
holidays, because we can't even say Merry Christmas anymore. It just sucks.
What holiday is it again?
I know. It's Kwanzaa. It's I don't even know. What is it? I don't know. People can't say. So, all right. We've got a Thanksgiving super montage, you guys, that I put together. It's like a buffet of liberal clips that will take you out for the extended holiday. It's a giant super montage. I'm going to take you through them. All right. So the first one is a guy that has a surviving. Okay. He's surviving Thanksgiving.
Oh wow.
Yeah, with a good book to read. He's listening to the Grateful Dead. That's what he had playing, which with his beads, he has beads and gummies. I guess he's got CBD gummies is what that means. He's okay. So he looks sane. He looks really sane. So that's one of your crazy liberals that's going to be at your Thanksgiving holiday table this year. He's got beads. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's got beads.
Right. Okay. Second one is the chick. She has a special holiday message for all of you MAGA people. You ready? Here we go.
What's happening? The family wants to know what I'm doing for the holidays. I'm going to be here with my dogs and my daughter, who is of childbearing age and now has to get an IUD at 17 years old. And I'm going to be here with my son, who is a political target. And that should really tell you all you need to know about why I'm not going to be hanging out with y'all for the holidays. So fuck off. Choke on your turkey. Bye.
She seems nice.
By the way, why is your son a political target?
I don't know. I was going to ask you that since you're the guy in the room. I was going to ask.
What is he? Why is he a political target? I mean, I'm assuming he's trans.
I don't know. I don't
something like that,
And why does she have to force an IUD on her daughter? I don't get that.
Or how about this? Your daughter just doesn't have sex.
That could be yes. That could be an option.
There's also that
right there.
Like the option never is, hey, maybe I should have some responsibility in this. The option is like all sex is rape. That's why we got rid of the rape plant.
The mistletoe. We got rid of the mistletoe, lady. Calm down. Okay, Joy Reid wants you to step back this Thanksgiving, you guys. Step back.
People are rightfully alarmed. They have a reason to be alarmed. And if you would vote for that, people may not feel so confident that they're safe with you. This is not crazy. This is legitimate feelings of fear of you and a feeling that you might not be someone they could trust. If this thing goes way south, autocracies go south real fast and things get ugly and people get asked to do things and turn people in and point people out and turn on them. And if you're voting affirmatively, gleefully for this, people may not feel so confident in you anymore. That's real, and you kind of have to live with it. So if you think that you can vote for what people see as their destruction and then demand that they still are cool with you and kiki with you and have Thanksgiving with you, I think you're kind of missing the point of what people are upset about. They're afraid.
Why are you
and autocracy and fascism are things that are legitimate to be afraid of. So you may want to step back.
Step back.
By the way, she's probably at a MAGA party. She's like, I gotta whisper, pretend like I'm doing
whispering.
This. We can go party it up right now.
In her own house. God, these people
why are you whispering?
Crap crazy.
It's like, and the whole they voted for this person. Now you can't feel safe. So wait a minute. The day before I voted, you were totally cool with me. But now because I voted for Trump, I might at any given time fly off the handle and punch you in the throat.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And listen, speaking of crap, this guy, I'm pretty sure he's inciting an actual insurrection. This one.
All right, so let's talk about what it is that I actually mean to do on Inauguration Day.
What?
So there's going to be a lot of people there. A lot of people on his side and a lot of people protesting on our side. I mean to meet as many people as I can. Try to convince them to work together in a co-opetition. And if everything works the way that it's supposed to, I will be in front of that stage with people chanting for me to be heard.
Really?
Legion or let him speak. Whatever, I don't care. Get me on stage to speak before the president.
Oh my God.
And change the very fabric of human history.
Okay, let's do it. Wow.
Yeah.
Our future is in our hands.
Oh.
Why are you breathing so hard?
I know it's exhausting, isn't
Charge forward. Grasp that future with both hands. And rip it apart. The future I see is not one I accept.
He doesn't accept it.
The future I want is one that I will build.
Oh.
And I need your help to get there.
Okay. And
he's
listen.
He's a little low T. That's what I'm going with.
At least we'll be able to spot him in that neon green. What the hell?
You know what's amazing about all this? The self-importance.
Yeah.
Of people like I'm going to get up on stage and I'm going to change the human fabric of history and time.
I know.
And it's like, no, you're not. And by the way, you're talking about what? A co-op army? Like, guys, let's all co-op together.
Yeah.
You guys couldn't even get the gendered language right.
Yeah. It's like, okay, Brennan, calm down. God.
Blaine? His name is Blaine?
I just cannot with these people. And somebody said, and I agree, I hope that these people are on the radar of Secret Service or whatever.
Oh, they are.
I feel like he was talking about an insurrection. Is it just me?
Well, no, he wants one of those things where he wants to get up there and speak. He wants to be heard.
With a bunch of other people. Good Lord, the crazy is strong in these people.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what it'll really look like this year.
Turkey's great this year.
Oh, yeah. It's almost like it's great again.
Mashed potatoes are good.
Oh, yeah, I got them for cheap. It's almost like grocery prices are going down. That's weird.
Oh, God, this is giving me gas.
Well, you're about to get a lot more gas. Olean. These prices are going down. So who'd you vote for?
Okay, I'm leaving.
I love that.
And then you sent me this absolute bat crappery that I can't see alone. So everybody's got to share in this bat. I don't know what this is. You guys, what is this?
It's bat crappery.
It's what is?
Okay. I got one for you. Sapiosexual, synonymous with sex zombie. You know, because zombies need brains.
This is real, you guys.
I know. How do you tell the difference between a sapiosexual and a zombie?
Look at the eyes.
Zombies need brains. A sapiosexual needs brains in bed. Okay, sorry.
Oh my God.
It's technically a joke. Thank you and good night.
The fact that it has a knife. And it's just, like, I don't know what's under its floorboards, but it doesn't smell great in here.
You know it doesn't. God, it puts the lotion on or it gets the hose.
I'm a zombie with fake eyes.
We've got to get mental institutions back. We got to make them great again. That's what we've got to make great. Okay. And we need a little bit of a palate cleanser. And then I'm going to show you a typical Thanksgiving lineup. He's got to be doing that.
There's not an ugly person in the place, is there?
Not an ugly person. I thought that was the cutest family ever. And then this is a typical, sort of typical Thanksgiving lineup. I thought this was great.
Asked for help multiple times today, but has still done everything herself. She brought you into this world so she can certainly take you out of it. Sipping Pinot with ice, here comes your exhausted mother. He's an avid Facebook poster and conspiracy theorist. His wife just left him, but it's chill because he's a self-proclaimed alpha male. Two-time DUI recipient. Here comes Uncle Jeff. She just finished her freshman year at NYU. Like her sexuality, her major is still undecided. A self-proclaimed expert on geopolitical discourse. Give it up for your Gen Z sister. He's been trading penny stocks and snorting Adderall in his room all morning. His Snapchat score is higher than anyone else's his age should be. Let's hear it for your brother who still lives at home. The man who's somehow still here. He's lived through multiple wars and can't digest solid food. Likely to trigger your Gen Z sister and celebrating his 98th Thanksgiving. Grandpa. Now give it up for your Thanksgiving starting five.
I love it.
I love that.
The starting five. It's great. I want to know who's in everybody's starting five. It's fantastic. It's Thanksgiving week, you guys. I hope everybody's going to be eating lots of food. I cannot wait. I'm going to start on the pie like right after this show. I'm eating it. I'm eating it for breakfast, you guys. And I want to thank Chad. Chad has helped me out for the past 4 days. You guys give Chad love. Give him all the love. He has been so gracious and helpful and wonderful. And also Valen, because Valen has been so patient with me the past 4 days. It has been crazy.
Thank you, Baltimore.
Baltimore. Chad calls her Baltimore.
Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.